Seems like college football is just the Wild West now. You can just,
It's nuts. It's
you
nuts.
can just kind of any player can go anywhere for any price. Really, it's kind of whoever's got the most money can have the best team.
I totally understand why some coaches have a problem with that because they want some certainty. I'm going to give you a scholarship, and schools, then institutions of higher learning, school presidents take it very seriously when you give somebody a free pass to come to your school in exchange for their athletic abilities. And then that player just gets up and leaves. And I'm sure coaches and school presidents are like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
And the pushback is, well, you, head coach, you can leave at any time you want. I mean, what a perfect example for Bruce Feldman to point out Tommy Tuberville coming up with some legislation where it requires a player to have to stay at some school for 3 years. And it's like, hey, bro, you left Texas Tech to go to Cincinnati in the middle of a recruiting visit. Who the hell are you to sit there and require someone to have to stay at a certain spot for a while? And that's the whole point. It's just like, well, if they're not employees, and kids keep saying, you even heard Greg Sankey say, the kids don't want to be employees of the school. That's not what they want. They just want, like, if you're going to put my name on a jersey, I should get a cut. I should get a piece. I should be able to put my own face in a jersey and sell it. I should be able to, become a spokesman or spokeswoman, spokesperson for, Buddy Garrity Chevrolet. The problem is that when Buddy Garrity then comes in and says, here's, $500,000, just show up to my Chevrolet spot for one time and you get the rest, and then all of a sudden that kid doesn't get the rest because he's not playing anymore. And suddenly it's like, where's my money? I'm sure that's happening. I'm sure these things are happening, is that there's no protection for the player who's been receiving the offer. And there's no protection for the player who receives the offer to go to a school that their playing time is going to actually happen. In the pros, if you pay somebody for a contract, you pay somebody for their services, and, you're not going to bench that player. You're going to give that player as much time as possible, right? Because of what the salary he or she is earning. That's usually what happens. Like, hey, boy, that'll be awful tough to bench somebody. Like, the Yankees aren't benching Anthony Rizzo right now because he's making all that cash, and plus there's past performance and things of that nature. But if it's not the school's money and it's somebody who's, who has, for some reason, $1 million to spend on some 18-year-old because you want your school to win. By the way, could you imagine I ever come home and say to Suze, yeah, there's less money in our account. Why? Because I gave it to somebody because he's a really good left tackle. But people have enough money to burn that they can do that.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
And so then suddenly you're a coach, and it's just like, I don't care that kid's got, all that stuff, and then he ain't playing. And then suddenly kid transfers, and then dude who's like spending $1 million on a left tackle suddenly he's not going to pay the rest.
Wait, Rich.
You think that happens?
Are you saying that we should offer an NIL deal to someone? Because I think that we should. We should have
as
our
you know,
own
we
player.
did the glue thing
No,
for a
that
year,
was
and what
glue.
a
I'm
pain in
talking
the ass that
Rich
was.
Eisen specific.
Oh, God. No, I'm out of that business, sir.
I think it'd be great. Get a player we all can root for.
I'm just saying that needs to be protections for the players. And I'm sure there's some people, well, what about protection for the schools? You're the ones who tell a kid to come to a school and play for this coach, and coach says, I'm out.
In the middle of a recruiting dinner?
I'm out.
Protections from the schools that all have billion-dollar dowries. Like, shut up.
Not all of them. Not all of them do.
The good ones.
The ones that matter in college football do.
So, I don't know. And again, I told you, the way to police it is to just get a much smaller group of universities that have similar issues and concerns. Get it together.
Super League.
But as Bruce pointed out, you got the SEC right now being run by a terrific commissioner with a lot of respect and a serious power structure, and they're poaching like crazy. One guy coming in the day after season's over saying, I got 6 figures, match it or I'm out. I'm like, oh, there's a door. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.